Hello, I'm Paul Peterson, your host for Aging Well in LA. Today we have a most interesting show for you, a program about your potential benefits after the Supreme Court's 2013 decision on the Defense of Marriage Act, or DOMA. If you are involved in a same-sex marriage or domestic partnership, today's show is very important television. So please stay tuned. Welcome back to Aging Well in LA. Today we are visiting the Los Angeles Gay and Lesbian Center in Hollywood to discuss the ramifications of the recent Supreme Court decision that significantly altered federal law, especially as it applies to gay and lesbian couples, married or not. The Social Security Administration is primarily responsible to see that all Americans receive the benefits to which they are entitled and which they've paid for over their working life. Today's show is about fairness and justice for all. As we get older, issues like pension and health and how those benefits are dispensed after we've passed on become more and more important. Step inside with me to meet some very interesting and committed people. Well, we are now inside the LGBT Center here in Hollywood, and I want to introduce you to three very important people to the operation of the center. First, Kathleen Sullivan, who is the Director of Senior Services here, correct?
That's right.
That's right. And then we have Jerry McIntyre, who is from the National Senior Citizens Law Center.
Correct.
All right, and last but not least, Alan Acosta, and I'm going to get you right, I know, who is the Director of Strategic Initiatives here.
That's right.
That's fabulous. Now, Kathleen, let me start with you.
Sure.
This is a tremendous resource for the community, but seniors have some special issues. Can you tell us how you can help seniors who are in this LGBT community secure the benefits that they've already paid for?
Sure. Well, I love that you said that they already paid for them because they certainly did.
Yes.
We have about 3,000 LGBT senior clients at the LA Gay and Lesbian Center. And after the Windsor decision last June,
Yes.
a lot of benefits were really opened up for people.
Wow.
And that is going to make a huge difference in people's lives. Because it's going to mean Social Security benefits, pension benefits. People are going to be able to apply for those and actually get them.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. Folks seldom understand that many of our seniors are living right on the edge of poverty, and denying them benefits can put them in a very precarious position.
Absolutely. About 20% of the people we work with live on less than $1,000 each month.
It's just not possible, $1,000 a month.
It doesn't seem possible
It
to
doesn't.
live on that
No.
little. But what's exacerbated the problem is that even if they were in a relationship for 30, 40, 50 years, because their marriages weren't recognized, they didn't receive the Social Security survivor benefits.
Right.
And so once that partner passes, unfortunately, the other partner's left with a lot less income each month. And it's really thrown a lot of our clients into poverty.
Well, I'm sure it has. Now, Jerry, let me ask you, the Supreme Court decision was just a year old as we interviewed today. How has the ruling affected your work and securing benefits for seniors?
Well, it's been a slow process
Really?
to see the Social Security Administration implement this because it's a fairly complex task. But they are now processing applications for spousal benefits and survivor benefits based on same-sex marriage here in California, or at least most of them. There are some that are not, but they are processing the majority of them.
I see. Now, so many same-sex couples have both been in the workforce. How does that work when there have been two incomes?
Well, it depends. Where the spousal benefit helps is where there's a big difference between the lifetime earnings of one spouse and the other. And if you have one who has very low, relatively low lifetime earnings, that is very important because they're entitled to an amount equal to 1/2 the benefit of the higher earning spouse, whichever is higher, half the benefit of the higher earning spouse or the benefit they would get on their own record. And so this is one of the, as Kathleen was saying, this is really a very important anti-poverty measure.
Right.
And the other anti-poverty measure, which is even more important, is the survivor benefit. Right. When one dies, if the higher earning spouse dies first, the one with the higher Social Security benefit dies first, then as long as they've been married for a year, they would be able to, the lower earning spouse would be able to get a benefit equal, a Social Security check equal to the amount that the higher earning spouse would get.
And that's very important. People forget. We're living a long time these days.
Well, it's important to be able to maintain your home,
Sure.
to be able to really have to be able to continue living as you did rather than have to sell everything you owned.
Now, Alan, as a director of special projects or special initiatives, this has put quite a burden on you because there are a lot of things that need to be settled here. Housing, taking care of children, senior care. How is this going to work for the children of same-sex couples and things like medical coverage or pensions more specifically?
Well, so the same way, I think Jerry can probably talk more about this, but if a child is eligible for certain Social Security benefits, and if you can't be married, and if there's a law against them, couples receiving the same benefits, that child would not be necessarily get those same benefits.
How are we going to get this word out? As a father of a gay son who's in his late 30s, I'm after him already. Start thinking ahead here. You've got to make some significant plans and declare yourself so that the benefits you're paying for are available to you.
Well, so organizations like ours, we're out there spreading the word.
Yes,
and,
indeed. And
Jerry's
doing
organization
a great job
also
as
spreading
well.
the word because a lot has happened in 3 or 4 years in our country around these issues. So a lot of people are not really thinking about this because 5 years ago it was almost impossible to imagine that these benefits would be available.
Right, of course.
So a lot of it now is that sort of is getting out to the public. Kathleen does this a lot. We do it in all of our programs now. We have public forums here and panels about these kinds of things.
Right,
So.
no, and it's very important. Now, another group that I care about, Kathleen, I want you to speak on this, is our disabled seniors. Because with age comes some infirmities sometimes, and that can be very complex.
Well, it is complex, and unfortunately, many of the seniors we provide services to sometimes don't feel comfortable going to traditional senior centers.
Of course.
So that is another issue that we're working with the Department of Aging in Los Angeles to make sure that everybody has the right training. So we know how to make safe space for all of our seniors, but certainly for our seniors that have disabilities, we work with a lot of men who are long-term survivors of HIV.
Sure.
And there are just some things that we need to provide to those folks to make sure that they are accessing the benefits that they need so they can live the most healthy life that they can.
Well, I know within the senior community, so often with same-sex relationships, there's really no family, no blood family.
Yeah.
They may be alienated from their family, which let me tell you, is a bad idea to alienate yourself from gay children. It's hard. It's almost as if a person doesn't have a backup, a blood relation.
Boy, that's so insightful. In our community, we often say that we create our families.
Yes.
And some people have wonderful fathers like you, but a lot of people don't. And certainly a lot of our older folks, their families have really been estranged from them for quite some time.
Yes.
And that's why we really see a variety of different support systems coming into play and a lot of caregiving of close friends, or families of choice. So family is a huge issue in the LGBT community, and certainly a lot of same-sex couples are having kids now.
I'll say
now
adopting.
more than ever.
Well,
so
that
that's
was
something
actually-
that's coming up.
Actually a problem before because gay and lesbian people, partially because of discrimination, were much less likely to have children who become the caretaker for many heterosexual adults, right? Because you take care of your parent. But we are, as a community right now, and hopefully not in the future, much less likely to have children who can do that for us.
Now there's lots more to cover on this interesting topic, so stay tuned. Next, I'd like to introduce you to two very nice ladies who have joined us today. First, Andy Siegel, seated on my left, and next to her, Alice Herman. Welcome to you both. Now, your personal stories are kind of an example of how life doesn't treat us fairly. Andy, you lost your partner after how many years?
36 years.
36 years together.
She passed away in 2005. And I had a critical accident in 94. And
But importantly, you weren't eligible for any of her accrued benefits, were you?
I was not, nor was I eligible for my retirement.
That too?
Because I didn't work 25 years. I wasn't able to go back to work because I was critically injured.
You were formerly married as well, correct?
Yes, we were.
Yes. Here in California?
Yes. The Reverend Troy Perry married us in 1969.
Right.
25 years later, we renewed our vows.
Oh, how sweet. That's
and
great.
with Reverend Troy Perry.
Yeah.
And
It's difficult to lose a partner. Nothing prepares
Yes.
us for it.
she was my life.
Yeah, I understand. Did she help you raise your child?
Yes.
Of course.
Dean had two mommies.
Two mommies, that's cool.
Yeah.
And Alice, you were with your partner for more than 40 years.
45 years.
45 years. Wow.
45 years.
That's a good long time.
Yeah.
And her death put you in a tough spot too, didn't it?
When she died, she had been in the hospital for almost 2 years as the result of a surgery that had gone bad. And over that period of time, Medicare pays for 80%.
Right. Oh.
So we'll let it go with that. By the time Sylvia died, she died March 21st, 2009. I had enough money left for 2 months' rent.
Oh my gosh.
And it was like, okay, what do I do now? And all I had left were the 2 little cats that she had decided to adopt when we couldn't walk dogs anymore.
Right.
And there was no way I was going to leave them behind. So I needed a place that was going to be affordable and safe and would take the 2 cats.
And you found Triangle.
I found a place put up by gay and lesbian elder housing called Triangle Square.
Right.
And thank you, God, they liked me, they liked the cats, they took us in, because all I knew at the time was how to cry. I had no money, I had no idea that DOMA would, in my lifetime, ever be repealed. And a year ago, it was a year ago.
A year ago, June.
Right, a year
Yes.
ago, June. They repealed DOMA. I said, thank you, God.
Yeah.
Other people won't have to go through what I went through.
Now, let me
And it's about time. if
Thank
we-
you for sharing these stories. So we could talk for an awful long time, but we'll be right back. I have other people I want you to meet.